cities fall apart. Solar flares arrive. Buildings collapse. Only a few will survive. The world as we know it will no longer be there. Water is gone. A new era has begun. Prepare yourself for the apocalypse. The apocalypse. The heat is scorching. Forests burned up. The sky colors red. Volcanoes erupt. The world as we know it will no longer be there. Water is gone. A new era has begun. Prepare yourself
Hi friends, and welcome back to the channel. Happy Sunday morning to you. I hope you are well. I hope you're having a fantastic weekend so far, and I hope the weather is as perfect by you as it is here by me. Unfortunately, though, even though the weather is perfect, we are getting some of that smoke that's coming down from Canada, from the wildfires down in Canada, so I'm still stuck in the house. So it is unfortunate. I did go out yesterday. I did wear a mask yesterday, just so that I could go outside for a little while yesterday. But I do have asthma, so it makes it hard to breathe when there's a lot of smoke. And I understand that allergy season is in full swing. So I'm happy to be here with you guys today. I hope you all are well. I hope you're having a great weekend. Thanks to everybody that joined me on Tuesday. We had such a great time putting some stuff together. And today we're going to be putting together the rows for our resilient project. Now you can see the blocks are sitting right here. I went ahead and I pressed them all this morning so they lay nice and flat. I went ahead and used a little bit of water from my spray bottle to make sure that everything lays nice and flat for us so we can put these rows together. It's super quick, super simple to do. I imagine we'll probably get this done in more than enough time because there are only 4 rows and it's just 4 blocks. So it's going to be pretty small. And then I've got a spare project that I can pull out if I need to, just to kind of work on something else while we're hanging out. Or we could just hang out. We'll have to wait and see how things go. Uh, there was something else I was going to tell you guys about, and now for the life of me, I can't remember what it is. Oh, yes, Lucas. Lucas is not on the stream today, as you guys have probably already noticed. Him and his bride-to-be, and my other daughter, Taylor, and her boyfriend are all on a cruise right now. They are having so much fun. This was a graduation gift from their great aunt on their dad's side. She paid for the 4 of them to go. It's kind of a big family thing. The whole family has gone. But she paid for the 4 of them to go, which was really nice. So they flew down to Orlando on Friday. They boarded their boat yesterday, and so they are out in the middle of the Caribbean Ocean somewhere, Caribbean Sea somewhere. So unfortunately, they said that they did get the Wi-Fi package, but they said it's like 2.5 hours for the entire week. So I said, don't worry about the stream. Don't worry about that. You guys have a great time. And I will talk to you again when you come back. So hopefully they'll get to send me some pictures here and there when they hit a port where they have some service on their phone, but either way, it's okay. So far, they're having a great time. I did get one picture from them, and that's all I've gotten so far, so it is making me a little crazy. But anyway, so you won't see Lucas on the stream today, so I want to give an extra special thank you to our other moderators, Kathy and Terry, for kind of holding down the fort for him while he's gone. Now I know that you guys don't know anything about Streamlabs, and that's okay. I don't expect you guys to do anything with Streamlabs. Streamlabs seems to be working okay this morning. We'll see how it goes. I know there was a little bit of an issue with Carrie this morning. Carrie, I do apologize for that. Streamlabs seems to think that if you accidentally put a period in between 2 words without a space, that somehow you're sending a link. So I'm sorry about that. I'm sure it was just a typo on your part, but Streamlabs has punished you for 30 seconds for typo. I'm sorry about that. Unfortunately, nothing I can do about that. But either way, that's okay. So we're gonna be spending. So I'm gonna be spending the day indoors again today. I spent the day yesterday indoors playing some computer games, and now today I'll be spending it in front of this machine. So we're gonna finish up this today. I've got a couple of other projects that I'm gonna be working on off camera after the stream is over today. And then just a reminder to all of our members, we do have a live stream coming up tomorrow. So we're going to be back to the project that we were working on before. We're going to be picking that up again. I know some of you have already finished it, which, overachievers, making me look bad. But we're going to be hanging out again tomorrow evening, 7:30 p.m. Central Time, right back here. I will post a link on our members only page. If you guys want to join me on camera, you are more than welcome to. It's a Zoom call. So I always throw the link up there. You can join me if you want, and if you don't want to, that's okay. I've always made the joke that I talk to myself all the time, so talking to myself on camera is really no different. So it's not a problem. Hopefully you guys will be able to join me then, but if not, I completely understand. If you guys are interested in becoming a member, there should be a button down below. It's a square with a dollar sign in it. You can click on that, and then there's usually an option in there for members. Now, I have noticed that it's all the way at the bottom, so sometimes you've got to kind of scroll, especially if you're on your phone and you've got it zoomed in so you can read. You might have to zoom it out so you can find that bottom line and then zoom it back in. Um, But there is a button there to join, and it's $2.90. I think the least expensive one is our Thumbelina, which I think is $2.99 a month. And then there's other ones from there. But joining the membership not only gets you into our membership calls, but it gets you into some of the other perks as well, like our scrap busting boxes. I send out at least one a year, hopefully two a year, but this year it looks like it's probably going to be one. We're already halfway through the year and I haven't sent one yet. So, because I really don't have a whole lot of scraps because we haven't finished any projects yet. That's kind of how my scraps work. Is like once I finish the project, then all the scraps go into the boxes, and then that's how kind of how things work. So, so we're probably only gonna get one, but it's gonna be a heavy one. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a heavy one because I think we're gonna finish all these projects just about the same amount of time. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. Um, if you are a member of the Fat Quarter Club, then you automatically are enrolled to get 3 fat quarters from me for free every 3 months. So I just drop them in the mail to you. You get those automatically, no matter what, whether I have scratch or not, it doesn't matter. And then the experts group is a little bit more intuitive. That one, I did say that I was going to have a Zoom call every quarter. And that's more of a Zoom call just with you. That's a one-on-one, you and me. We just hang out. No cameras, no live streams, just you and me hanging out together. And that is usually how that one would work. And then there's some other perks that are built in there too. So if you guys are interested in that, please take a look. Every dollar that goes into the channel, every dollar that comes into the channel stays in the channel and is used towards new projects. I don't pay myself a salary or anything like that. It all goes right back in either for new equipment or for new fabrics for projects. The other way that you can help support the channel if you're interested in, this is only if you're interested in it. We do have some merchandise available on the channel. If you do ! Merch in chat, it'll give you a link. You can check that out. I know I usually am using my coffee mug, but I've not been drinking coffee lately. So I really need to start just putting water in it so you guys can see what it looks like. But there's some coffee mugs, some t-shirts, some tank tops, things like that. If you guys are interested in any of that, you're welcome to that as well. And then, of course, there's also the tip option as well. If you do ! Tip in chat, it'll give you a Streamlabs link to our Streamlabs store where you can just leave a random tip if you'd like to. That's completely up to you. These are just ways that you can help support the channel if you're able to and if you want to. Completely optional. This channel will always stay 100% free because the goal of this channel is not to make money. The goal of this channel is to make friends. And that is what we hope to do again today. All right, so let me hop into chat now that I've gotten through all the admin crap. Let me hop into chat and say hello to everybody there, and then we're going to get started on our Resilient project. I know that Brat46 was the very first person in chat, so good morning, Brat46. Thank you so much for being here today. Happy Sunday morning to you. There's a new name in chat that I don't know if I've seen before and maybe just forgot, or if they're new to the channel, but either way, hello, Candace. Welcome to the channel. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you're having a fantastic morning so far. Susan is also here. Good morning, Susan. Thank you so much for being here. And of course, Kathy, one of our moderators, is also here. Hi, Kathy. It is so great to see you. You guys, if you have not already, you've got to go over and subscribe to Kathy's channel. She has so much fun over there. I am jealous. I wish I could join her channel more than I've been able to lately. She has so many great friends and a lot of subscribers to our channel you'll see on her channel, and it's just so much fun. They have such a great time over there. I love watching their replays. I really wish I could catch them live a little bit more often than I do. So if you guys haven't already, do ! Kathy in chat and make sure you check her channel out. It is so much fun. I love watching you ladies. I have so much fun and I laugh so hard. It is so much fun. It's such a great time. So Susan, I already said good morning to you, but good morning again. Linda Denton is also here. Good morning, Linda. It's so great to see you. She says, hello, almost forgot. LOL. Well, don't do that. But good morning. Welcome back to the channel. It's so great to see you. Carrie Leonard is also here. Hi, Carrie. I'm sorry about Streamlabs being stupid this morning. Again, I am sorry about that, but you should be able to get to it. They put you on a temporary timeout for 30 seconds. I'm really sorry. There's nothing I could do about that. So I do apologize for that. I know that you weren't meaning anything sinister, and I'm sorry the Streamlabs decided to punish you for a silly typo. I apologize. Sandra K is also here. Hi, Sandra. Welcome back to the channel. So great to see you. Sandra also has her own channel, so make sure you check that out. You can do ! Sandra in chat. Patty, hello, Patty. I love that. She says, happy Sunday, and she puts the little sun in there. I love that. It's so great. Thank you so much for that. It's so great to have such happy, bright, cheerful people on the channel. It makes my day so much better. Even when I'm having a bad day, I try to come on here, and you guys make me feel so much better. So thank you for that, and thank you for the beautiful comment there, Patty. I would love that. Thank you so much. Let's see. Hello, Kathy, Patty, Sandra, Susan, Sandra, Susan, Patty. Just trying to make sure that I don't miss anybody. Let's see. Susan says, "Thought you were smart and wore a mask. Any smoke in the air can be really dangerous." Yes, it can, Susan. And this whole and I've talked about it before in the channel, but the asthma thing is kind of new for me. It was a side effect of COVID. The whole asthma thing became a side effect of COVID. It is not as extreme as some other people, and I know that some people suffer from asthma, and it's an extreme case. Mine is a very mild case. I just have to be conscious of it and be careful with it. And every once in a while, I have some issues. But when the air quality outside is bad, I just know it's going to be kind of. I don't like hyperventilate or anything like that. It just gets really tight. So I am trying to be cautious of that. Like I said, I did wear a mask yesterday when we were out running around, just because I knew I was going to be in the car, and the car filters the air, but it's not great, and so things like that. So I didn't want to take any chances, and I didn't want to have to deal with it. So the mask was fine. So I do keep a couple of them in the car with me at all times, just in case you never know. So I did wear that. So thank you for that. She says, "I hope they have so much fun. What a great gift for them." Yes, I know. I'm hoping so too. I mean, it sounds like they're going to, especially if they can't really use their phones, if they don't have Wi-Fi, they're going to kind of be forced to do something. I really hope they get out of the room. Like, that is my biggest fear, is that they're just going to spend the whole time in their room. And it's like, no, like, get out. Like, you're in a city on the water. Like, get out. They're on a huge boat. I'm like, just get out of the room. So I'm hoping that they do. Like I said, they are both with their significant others, so I'm hoping that kind of encourages them to get out as well. I think if they had went by themselves, they probably would have just hung out in the room. I know they have a couple of excursions that they had planned. I don't know a lot about them, so hopefully we'll get to hear all about that from Lucas when he comes back. And hopefully Taylor will share some of that with us as well. But I do know they have a couple of excursions. So I told them my biggest fear is that they're going to miss the boat. I'm like, do not miss the boat. That's my biggest fear. So I guess we'll have to wait and see if we get a phone call. Susan says, "My plan today is to sew the border on my Wild West and to finish sewing binding down to Catitude." Oh, that's awesome, Susan. That's awesome. Wild West, mine and Lucas, I dropped those off at the long arm yesterday, so it'll be quite a few weeks before you guys see them. She said she was a little behind, so I'm gonna guess probably 4 to 6 weeks before I see that one come back. And that's fine. There's no hurry. And then Lucas and I will do another After Dark to put the binding on that one. So you'll probably see that one in a little while. Let's see. Just going through chat here, guys, trying to make sure I don't miss anybody. I got all fuzzy there for a second. Susan says, "Gonna be a warm day here, close to 100. Oh my goodness, Susie, that really is warm. My gosh. I don't think it's gonna be that warm here. I know it was in the 80s yesterday, and I think it's gonna be in the 80s again today, but they are talking thunderstorms this afternoon. So it'll probably be one of those where it gets hot and then it crashes because of the rain. So we'll have to see how it goes. It has been raining in the evenings. All week, basically. I wouldn't say all week. Probably a couple of days this week. It's been raining. I know it rained last night overnight, so it's been kind of nice. We've been able to enjoy the nice, beautiful weather during the day, and then it rains at night, so it kind of cools everything back down. So it's kind of been kind of nice. I know this is very short-lived. I'm a northwest suburb of Chicago. I'm in Illinois, southwest suburb of Chicago, and it's going to be short-lived. Like, we enjoy the weather while we can because it changes by the minute. So I'm not really sure what this summer is going to bring for us, but we are trying to enjoy every minute of it that we can. All right, I think I've gotten through chat. If I missed you or you are here and you didn't say hello, make sure you say hello in chat again for me. This time, I want you to tag me in it. You can do the @ that's the A with the circle around it, symbol, and then type in "So Not an Expert," and what that does is it highlights it on the screen for me so that I can't miss it. Because sometimes things kind of get mixed in with all the Streamlabs notifications, and sometimes I miss things. And I hate it when I miss things. It makes me so mad at myself. I know you guys are amazing and you're super patient with me, and it doesn't seem to bother you at all, but it bothers me. So if y'all can help me out with that, I really appreciate it. But all right, so we are going to get started with our resilient quilts. Now, for those of you who have been on the channel for a little while, you know we've been working on this thing for close to a year. I want to say it's been over a year. I wish Terry was here. She's great about checking the dates for me. I meant to check this morning and I forgot to check to see what the first video when the first video was made for this. But It's been close to a year or a little bit over a year since we've worked on this, so it's been a long time. One of the things I did add that I told you guys about is I bought one of these um threads, no, blade savers. I think that's what it's called. It's called a blade saver. I think I bought one. So that'll be fun. We're going to try and use that a little bit today. Well, actually, I don't think we're doing any chain basing today, so I don't think we're actually going to use this. So I'm going to put this over here so that it's out of the way. But I did purchase one of those. So that when Mr. Wizard or whoever's joining me comes in, they can also help me with the chain piecing. So that'll be fun. So this quilt is going to be 4 blocks wide and 4 blocks down. So it's going to go together pretty quickly. And I'm really not going to think about it too much because every single one of these blocks, and that's been the really unique thing about this particular project, every single one of these blocks is different. They're all the same pattern, but the layout of the colors, every single one is different. You guys might remember way back when we first started this, we came up with it. We had to create a color chart to make sure that every single fabric was used in a different place throughout the block. And so no two of these blocks are exactly the same, which I think is just so cool about it, and I love that about it. So that's one of the reasons why I don't have to worry about this. I'm just going to start grabbing at random and start putting them together. We're going to need 4 blocks for each row. So I'm going to go ahead and just grab 4 blocks at random. I love being able to do scrappy quilts. Scrappy quilts are one of my favorite ones to do because they're just so easy to do, and they really make things easy for you to kind of, you don't have to stress about it. Like, you don't really have to think about it too much. You just kind of go with it. So here's the third one. And since every block is kind of different, I am looking a little bit at the blocks, a little bit, but nothing, I'm not really stressing about it. Let's see what we got here. That one works. So we're going to go ahead and put these 4 together first. This will be row 1 for us. Yes, Susan, I am looking forward to seeing how this one looks as well. Sandra says the same thing. She can't wait to see it. I'm really excited. Like, you guys can see the blocks here. The fabric colors are beautiful. The blocks, this is just a reminder of what the blocks look like. This one actually looks really good. Some of the blocks are really prominent, and some of them are a little bit more subdued. It just depends on where the fabric color is kind of laid. Brett says, I had to leave the room for a few, so I'm not sure if it was talked about. If anyone wants to buy a craft pattern, etc., buy it now, as it was reported that the Big Four has sent patterns to a liquidator. Oh my. Well, Brett46, thanks for letting us know about that. That's great to know. Kathy also says, beautiful Danny. Thank you, Kathy. All right, so let's go ahead and get these together. Now, I am playing a little bit of thread chicken here. I'm almost out of thread on this particular spool. I have quite a bit of bobbin thread left, so I just have another thing of thread that I'll switch out to when I'm done here. It's always, is it just me, or is it satisfying when you... Oh, no. You're not going to do this to me, camera, because I've had you on for the last 2 hours, and you've been fine. And you haven't done this to me before. So what the heck? Oh, I had it on for 2 hours. 2 hours. Making sure that it wasn't going to do this. And now here it's doing it again. So the good news is that the program has been updated. It was an update the last time on Tuesday when I was having this issue. Let's see if I can turn that off. I'll turn that off. See if that does it. That should fix the problem. Let's see if that fixes the problem. All right, you guys let me know if it still does that. It's doing that whole weird dark light thing. So annoying. But anyway, so what was I talking about? Oh, yes, so I'm going to be running out of thread at some point here. So I'm going to have to keep an eye on that. But otherwise, we should be good. All right, so tell me, guys, what are you all working on today? Susan let us know what she was working on. What is everybody else doing? Anything fun? Anything exciting? Going to the dark side. You're right, Susan. If you guys watched on Tuesday, you'll know that we had some I had some issues with the camera. There was an update for the program that I use for my camera, and I didn't realize that I knew there was an update on my computer. I just didn't realize that the update was for that program. So I didn't run it before the stream, and then after, when I started the stream, I realized what was going on with the camera, and I'm like, that's probably the update. So we had to deal with this weird, lighting thing going on Tuesday. So I'm sorry about that. I knew what it was. I knew exactly what excuse me, my goodness, where the setting was. Computers are such a pain. But the update went through. Everything's fine now. Okay, there's one. Kathy says nothing going on here is going to be way too hot and no AC. Oh, Kathy, is the no AC normal for you, or is there something wrong and you've got to have your landlord out to fix it, or is that normal? I know some apartment complexes, the AC is controlled by the landlord, and so they won't turn it on until a certain time or date, or a certain temperature is reached. So some people don't have AC. I also understand that. Our AC has been on for a while, but it's temperature based, so it kicks on when it needs to. I don't always agree with when it kicks on, so I usually end up turning it off. Um, no AC in your apartment. Okay, gotcha. Okay. Well, I'm sorry about that. Is that because normally the temperature doesn't get as high, or it's just not? Yes, Sandra, times have changed for sure. Yeah, everything's kind of different now. All right, so the only thing we want to make sure that we're doing while we're putting these rows together is we want to make sure that the blocks are being oriented correctly. All of the blocks are supposed to go the same way. Now, of course, we don't have to do that. We could, change them up a little bit, but since it's kind of even number of blocks per row, it's going to look kind of weird if we don't. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, first row. Like I said, we're going to go through this one pretty quick. And that's why I kind of have a secondary project that I've been working on off camera that we can pull out. West side of Washington apartments and homes don't usually have AC. Here in eastern Washington, it's unusual to not have AC. Ah, okay, gotcha. I know that some places don't get real hot, and in like my stepdaughter, when she went to Virginia Tech, they didn't have any AC in their apartments either, because they said that for the most part they didn't really need it. Of course, the year she was in the apartments, they had record high heat, but that's beside the point. But I get it. I understand. Not everywhere has it. Not everywhere needs it. So. Do you get a nice breeze at least, Kathy? You can open your windows and then get a nice cross breeze, or we don't get a cross breeze at all in our home. Oh, yes. So hand sewing. Ooh, I'm not going to be able to pronounce that, Patty. So I'm just going to say she's hand sewing a hexagon book from a hexagon book. We're going to go that way. AC is optional. Gotcha. That's understandable. Gotcha. All right, so here is row one. Already done. Gonna go together quick, guys. Row one. I'm gonna set that off to the side for right now. Turns out we are gonna use that. So this is gonna go together super quick. super quick. I don't know where to put this. Put it there for now. All right, so 1, 2, 3. All I'm doing is trying to make sure that I have kind of a variety of fabrics on the blocks. Like I'm trying to make sure that I don't have too many with this fabric or too many with that fabric, or that's all I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to. That should work. So what is everybody else doing? Oh, thank you, Patty. See, that's how it works. Susan says, love it. Very colorful. Love it. Yes, I'm excited for this. No, if you guys have been watching this one for a while, then you know that I received this fat quarter bundle. This is Anne of Green Gables is the fabric line that we use for this, and I received this fat quarter bundle for Christmas a few years ago from my aunt. And the fabrics are just absolutely beautiful. They're absolutely gorgeous. They're breathtaking. And I've been trying for years to find a pattern that I felt really showcased the fabrics. Don't get me wrong, I wanted a beautiful pattern as well, but I wanted something that really, really showcased the fabrics. I didn't want to cut them up into too small pieces, and I really wanted to come up with something that was really going to showcase them. And when I came across this pattern, it was a free pattern from a newsletter website or something that I found. When I came across it, I was like, this is it. This is the pattern that I want to use for these fabrics. I think it's going to work really well. The pieces are nice, chunky sized pieces, and every single block showcases different pieces of this fabric line. So that's why I chose this particular pattern for this one. And I have been super happy with it. Don't get me wrong, it took absolutely forever to put these blocks together. Because of the half square triangles. I wish I had my half square triangle rulers back then. They would have really helped out. But I didn't at the time, and that's okay. But they took forever to do. We finally got them all done, and now the blocks are here. Now you don't necessarily, if you were to make this pattern yourself, you don't necessarily have to use different fabrics for every piece, like I did. You could use all the same, fabrics and kind of come up with your own design. I mean, that's just that's the nature of this particular block. And I've seen this block in other fabric colorways and things like that before. But I really wanted to kind of make this one unique, and that's why I loved this one just as much as I did. We're going to use our new thread cutter today. I bought it more for like when I'm sharing the room with people so that they can help out. Because right now I use the thread cutter on the side of my machine, which I understand some machines don't come with them anymore, which is really weird. Like, I've never had a machine that didn't. But I've heard that they don't. I've even had the machines where like the thread cutter's like on the presser foot bar. I've had those too. I've never had one without a thread cutter like on the side there. It's gonna be weird when if and when I ever upgrade to a different machine. But that's why I bought this one is so that when I'm sharing the space with the people, they can help cut the threads. Welcome back, Carrie. All right. I hope everything went okay at the doctor. Carrie had some surgery a couple weeks ago, maybe a couple weeks ago. She had to have a tumor removed from her hand, so she hasn't been able to be sewing for a little while. I'm glad to hear that things went well for her, and she's at the doctor getting the bandage changed. All right. So we are already putting together row 2. Well, there's only 4 rows, so it's going to go together pretty quick. I have not decided if I'm going to do any type of a border on this or not. I don't know yet. I kind of want to put it together and then like look at it for a little while and decide what to do from there. I don't really have any plans for this one. I don't really have a vision in mind for it. Carrie says her hand is starting to itch. Well, itching actually means it's healing, so that's a good thing. I know it's a bit of a pain, but it's a good thing. Itching usually means it's healing. Yep, there you go. Itching is a sign of healing. I've had a little bit of a sunburn on this shoulder here. I don't know if you guys remember from Tuesday. It was a little pink. I had some sunburn on the back and on the back here, and that's been itching like crazy all week. It's been making me crazy. I don't think it's peeling. I can't see. I haven't noticed it peeling, but it was itching like crazy. Itching just means it's healing. All right, row 2. Moving right along. Oh, gotcha. So you're early. I gotcha. I appreciate you hanging out with us while you wait. I'm gonna go that way. So 1, 2. We used a lot of this green fabric. 3. This green fabric, we used a lot of it. Alright, so I'm gonna flip these around. This one, and that one. There, that's better. Well, it looks like I'm not going to get away from that, so it's okay. These 2 fabrics here are the same fabrics, and so it's just trying to mix them up a little bit. I wonder if this one here. And then put these here like this. There, that's better. Okay. I'm not spending too much time trying to orient these blocks. I'm just trying to make sure that I don't kind of have the same fabrics close together. If I can manage it. It's not always going to be the case, but row 3. All right. And then these 2. I think next weekend we're working on our Norfolk quilt. I'm gonna have to look at the schedule, but I think we're gonna be working on that, and I hope so because we just got block number 5. I just received block number 5 in the mail, and we still need to get the block number 4. We're a little behind. That's okay. And then I told you guys about it, and I posted it on our Facebook group as well. But I've signed up for another block of the month through Stitching Haven that starts in November. That I'm really excited about. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. I've never worked on a project from Stitching Haven before, so I'm not sure. I mean, I've heard great things about them, but I've never done it myself, so we're going to learn something new. We're going to try out something new. And then, don't laugh at me, okay? Don't laugh at me. But I found another one, another Block of the Month program, which normally I only do one. But this one is just so pretty. Like, it is so pretty. It's by a small quilt company in Texas. And it's a company I've never heard of before. But I found them on Facebook. And it's so pretty. It's so pretty. It's huge. It's like 108 by 108. I mean, it's just massive. But it's absolutely gorgeous. And I might sign up for it and then just like put it off to the side and do it another time. I don't know yet. I don't know. I might just do it. I don't know. It's so pretty though. Like it is gorgeous. It is beautiful shades of purples, grays, and light grays and dark grays. It is absolutely gorgeous. And you guys know how much I love purple. And it's just so pretty. And so I might end up signing up for another one. This one, so the one from Stitching Haven, it's like $34 a month, which is a little pricey. But it does include the backing fabric. Hi Marie, welcome back to the channel. It's so great to see you. Happy Sunday morning to you. So if you think about it, like if you think about the pricing of the pieces, the fabric, and then them coordinating for you, plus the price of the pattern, and then the price of the backing fabric as well, and the binding fabric, like you get it all. When you amortize that out, it's not horribly expensive. It's probably like $1 or $2 more a month than you would have paid yourself if you had bought it all and curated it yourself. So I really didn't feel like that was an unreasonable price for what I was getting. Now, of course, Cotton Cuts projects are pre-cut for you. They're amazing. They're pre-cut. You don't have to do anything. The Stitching Haven one and the Norfolk one that I've done, neither one of those are pre-cut. Those you have to cut yourself. So there is that labor that you should be saving on that you're not necessarily saving on, but that's okay. This other one that I'm looking at it's huge. It's 108 by 108. It's just massive. It is a massive quilt. And they want the same price per month as the one from Stitching Haven, but there's no backing fabric. But again, it's huge. Like the one from Stitching Haven is like 72 by 80, I want to say, whereas this other one's 108 by 108, and it's gorgeous. So friends, I need you to help me. I need you to tell me, yes, Danny, go for it, because that will help me justify this. Because I'm trying to limit, my purchases to only one, and I'm like, oh, it's so pretty. The curator of the Black of the Month program does have a backing kit that I could purchase. Sorry about that. Neighbors are being annoying. They do have a. Thank you, Marie. That is exactly what I'm looking for. Marie said, I say go for it. That's what I was needing somebody to tell me. Because I'm like, I really want it. I really, 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 really want it. Oh, I just needed to justify it. Like, how sometimes, isn't it silly though? Like, we can drop a couple $100 on fabric that's on sale, but when you're signing up for this this commitment of a Block of the Month program, it's a 10-month Block of the Month program, and it's like when you have to sign up for this commitment, it's like you think about it. You're like, well, I don't know. Do I really want it? I don't know if I want it. You're right, Marie. You're right. I will regret it if I don't. You're absolutely right. I will. I keep thinking about it. It keeps showing up in my Facebook feed. I've saved it 3 or 4 times now. I think I just need to bite the bullet and say, forget it. I'm signing up for it. And go from there. But it is a brand new company. I've never worked with them before. It sounds like it's going to be great. I sent a question on one of the advertisements, and the owner answered within minutes. So I feel like that's a really good support program. So if something goes wrong, I'm sure that she'll support me on it. So I'm hoping. I think I'm going to stop before though. Because I'm like, oh, it's so pretty. It's just so pretty. Terry wants to know what company. Terry, I don't remember the name of the company. Honestly, let me see if I can find it. Give me a second. Let me see if I can find the name of the company. Maybe you guys are familiar with it and I'm just not. Honeybee Fabrics in Texas. That's the name of this company. I don't know if you guys can even see this on the camera. I don't think you're all going to be able to see it, but I'm going to try and show it to you anyway. Let's see. Can you see that? That's the quilt. That is it. Those are the exact colors. Like, come on now. Tell me that's not me. And I did check, and there's no applique in it at all. It is all straight pieced. It's just, I mean, look at it. Tell me that's not beautiful. Tell me that I should totally sign up for that. And in fact, I'm fairly certain that I'm going to after the live stream because I have been thinking about it for weeks now. Weeks. Right? Thank you. It is stunning. Is the owner's name Melissa? Good question. I can tell you in a minute because she did respond back to me. It's called Honeybee Fabrics. I mean, it seems like a legitimate small business, so if you guys know something I don't, you're gonna have to let me know. Let me see if I can find like a about. She's Happy Hive. Seeing if she signed this. Yes, Melissa. Yes. Yes, her name is Melissa. Who asked that? Terry. Is it Terry that asked? Marie. Yes, Marie. Her name is Melissa. Honeybee Quilts is the name of the Honeybee Fabrics is the name of the company. And the quilt is called, hold on, Blackberry Bramble. That's the one I'm probably going to sign up for. Yes, Blackberry Bramble by Honeybee Fabrics. It's a little pricey. It's like $36.99 a month, so it's a little on the high side for a Block of the Month program. But again, it's 108 by 108. Like, I keep trying to justify it. Like, it's huge. And it's so gorgeous. If it looks anything like the picture, I'm like, yeah. So I will likely be signing up for that after the stream today. But yes, the owner's name is Melissa. Never worked with this company before. Saw an advertisement on Facebook. I'm gonna probably, well, yeah, I'm definitely gonna give it a go. Like I've made up my mind. I'm definitely giving it a go. I will probably post information on it on my Facebook group in case there's anybody else that wants to sign up for it. It's another one that starts in November. So we'll have two Black of the Month programs starting in November. One of them is a 12-month, one of them is a 10-month. I'm so excited about it. Like, I should not be signing up for anything else right now. I really should not. But after this, don't let me sign up for anything else, okay, guys? You guys gotta be my guilt, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh, looks like I ran out of fabric, or ran out of thread. Yep, I ran out of thread, so let's go ahead and grab that. Finally ran out of thread. See, I told ya. It's not satisfying. Does anybody else feel like just completely satisfied when you have an empty spool of thread? Like, it's just so amazing to me. When I first started sewing, it was like I thought you would never run out. Like, it was just never going to be a thing. And now I run out of them all the time. No worries, I have more. So I've got this one here. So now what I didn't realize when I started this project is I've actually been using polyester thread for this, which I'm not thrilled about that. I prefer to use a cotton thread when I'm quilting, when I'm piecing. I don't mind the polyester for the quilting itself or for like, the binding and stuff, but I prefer to use a cotton because I want the cotton to shrink with the fabric. But I guess I started using a polyester with this one, and so I had to find a polyester thread in my stash, which I have way more threads than I need. I don't remember who it was that said they had over 100 spools of thread. I might have her beat. One of these days I should bring you guys my actual stash of threads that I have. Um, because I might actually have her beat. Uh, I didn't realize it at the time, but I was gifted bags and bags and bags of these spools of thread, and some of them are really tiny, like they're like the little sampled, ones, But I was gifted bags and bags of it, and I had no idea how much I actually had. One of these days, I should bring them out and count them. But anyway, so I found some polyester thread that will work. What do I do? John says, hello, I'm late. No, don't no worries, John. Chat was just convincing me to sign up for another Block of the Month program because, like, they totally had to twist my arm. Totally had to twist my arm. I'll be signing up for it after the stream is over. It is by a brand new company that I've never worked with before, so I'm excited to try out a new company. Sounds like some people know about the company or have worked with it before, so that's great. That really makes me feel a little bit better that I'm not jumping into the fire on my own. You can't find that quilt on their site. Terry, if you go into the Block of the Month section, it was on there. I can forward this to you if you want. Give me a second. Because you're on my Facebook, right? Hold on. Hold, please. There. I just sent it to you. I will post it on Facebook as well. It is beautiful, though. Like, absolutely stunning. Well, here, Dawn. Let me show you. Because Dawn missed it. Laura, good morning. Hold, please. What did I do? Here, this one. Here, Dawn. This is for you. Well, not for you. Like, I'm not making this for you, but I just wanted to show you what it looks like. This is the one that they've convinced me to sign up for. I know the camera doesn't really do it justice, but it's absolutely gorgeous. It's called Blueberry Bramble. It's by Honeybee Fabrics. It's a Block of the Month program. It is a little pricey. It's like $36, $37 a month. It does not include the backing fabric, which the Stitching Haven one that I signed up for does. But this one is 108 by 108. It's huge. Massive. Absolutely massive. So I'm excited about it. They have some other really, really cool ones. They've got one on there that's called Mayfair, which is another one I've been seriously considering. But then I saw this blackberry, blueberry, bramble one, and I'm like, I have to have it. Like, you guys know when a fabric or pattern speaks to you, you have to take it home because you will regret it otherwise. Yes. Wow, Susan says I save her empty spools. She included 6 quilting spools. This year already emptied 4. That's awesome. I think I've emptied. I mean, I don't save them, so I don't know, but I probably should. That would be fun, right? I probably emptied 3 or 4. Honeybee fabric shop pattern, second row down. Thank you, Brett46. Sylvia, welcome back. Fountain Terry says found it. Oh, there it is. Yes, thanks for that. She put up a link for it. Thank you. Yes, so I will be signing up for that one if you guys are interested in it. I know it's not for everybody. I know not everybody can afford that, and I understand. I am lucky enough to be in a situation where I can, although, if I'm being honest, that second one's going to throw me a little off budget, but don't tell Mr. Wizard, okay? We're not going to tell him. The second, I already signed up for the first one. The second one's going to throw me off a little bit, but it's fine. It'll be fine. We just won't tell Mr. Wizard. It'll be fine. Stuff comes in the mail all the time. He won't notice. Oh, there's a Honeybee quilt store as well. So this is a different company. This is Honeybee Fabrics. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I don't know anything about them. We're gonna learn together. Totally gonna learn together because I don't know anything about it. But I like the fact that we're trying something different. We're trying something new. Things like that. I don't think this is how I wanted to do this, but oh well, it's fine. All right, so this is row number. Let's just double check, make sure I put these together right, because I'm so excited about this thing that I might have screwed something up here. So give me a second. Yeah, okay, they're together correctly. This is row number 3, and then we have row number 4. So like I said, guys, we're gonna put this one together pretty darn quick. Let me fold this one up here. Last row. Super quick. That's about the number of hand quilting thread spools I have. Maybe 4 for the sewing machines. You need thread, Susan? Is that what you're telling me? One. I think I have extra pieces. Hang on a minute. Oh no, I don't. This one, 2. Why do I feel like this one's upside down? Or maybe not. It's just the way it's laying that it looks like it's upside down. 2, 3, 4. No. Okay. All right, last row. Yes, I've never worked with this company before. Have no idea. I asked her a question. She answered right away. Her website reminds me of like a small business cotton cuts. Oh, thank you, Sylvia. Thank you. It reminds me of like a small business cotton cut kind of situation. I love supporting small businesses as much as I can. That's not always the case, but I try to. Of course, everything always, all businesses start out as small businesses, so I'm excited to try it. I will definitely be signing up for it. There's a $1 registration fee, and there's once you sign up, you cannot cancel. There's no option for cancellations, so you can buy the whole thing at one time, or you can sign up for the monthly program. I've not done the math to see if you save anything by signing up for it. Kind of like Cotton Cuts gives you a little bit of a discount when you sign up for the whole thing at one time. I have not done the math to see if I will. I will do the math to see if it saves a little bit. I can't say that I've ever heard of that brand of thread. What deal? Hang on, I missed something. Laura, I kind of went crazy buying thread at the Viking selling gallery when everything was 70% off, and I bought one of those embroidery thread they had. I'm good for a while. Laura, I get you. Yeah, 70% off. Holy heck, that's an awesome price. Like Terry's, like we do not judge at all. Like Terry said, that's an awesome price. 70% off. Holy crap. Susan says, I do know that my I'm sorry, LQS, dyslexic. Now it doesn't carry the machine thread I like. We'll be stopping at B and C and Yakima for a couple more spools of the Metler that I like. Oh, interesting. I've never heard of that kind of thread before. Birds are playing in the gutter, Susan says. Actually, it's not unreasonable. I think shabby fabric costs around the same. If you have PayPal, you can break it down into 4 payments. That is true, Brat 46. That is absolutely true. I've not looked into if it's cheaper because they'll charge you by the month, or you can buy the whole thing at one time. So I'm gonna look to see if maybe I save a little bit by buying it all at one time and then sign up for the 4 payments through um, PayPal. It sounds like Mr. Wizard might be home. Mr. Wizard went to a museum show, something with something to do with planes. I don't know. Wow, for pennies, my gosh, that's crazy. Well, did you guys all heard that Michaels has bought out the intellectual property for Joanne Fabrics, so they're going to be carrying the Joanne line of fabrics now. Um, so they'll be carrying that. I'm sure that um, there'll be things like that. So it'll be interested to see. I'm interested to see what they'll end up carrying because, like, I know the Michaels by me, it's a very tiny, teeny, tiny little Michaels, so I can't imagine they're going to have room for fabric, but I could be wrong. Um, we'll have to wait and see how it goes. But that's not uncommon. That's not uncommon for a company like that to have to file for bankruptcy and then another company after they've been liquidated to go in and buy all the intellectual property. Um, because then they basically get it at a steal. All right, this one here. Yes, I do hear Mr. Wizard. He's home. Shh. He don't care. He doesn't care. He don't actually care. Wonder if they'll keep the lower prices of Joanne hand. That's a great question. Um, that's a great question. I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Joann's was really great. I liked Joanne Fabrics for some things. Um, I didn't buy a lot of quilting fabric from them. I wasn't really super thrilled with their quilting fabric. They did carry brand name stuff, um, but I wasn't super thrilled with some of their quilting fabrics. That's just my own personal opinion. I absolutely hated, and I will use that. It's a very strong word, but I will use it. Hated their pre-cuts. They were awful. Their pre-cuts were never cut to the right size. They were always off the grain. Like they were just terrible. So I stopped buying their pre-cuts. I used them for one project or one or two projects, and I no, I will never do that again. Well, obviously I won't do that again, but I hated that. Um, but there was times where I would have to, looking for a specific type of border fabric or a specific type of other type of fabric, not for quilting cotton, but other things. Um, and Joann's was a great place to go for that. Your basic supplies came from Joann's. 108. Okay, you know what? I never looked at 108. Vulture capitalism, 100%. Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah. Two Michaels on the island. Oh wow, that's awesome. Laura says I should go on a buying diet. Laura, that has been my plan all year. Has been backing or background. That's it. And I probably will do that again next year. I don't know if you guys can see it behind me, but there's this basket down back here behind me. See this little basket down here? This is all my pre-cut fabrics that are wrapped in plastic. Anything that's not wrapped in plastic is in a plastic bin that I have, but this is all the stuff that's still wrapped in plastic. This basket is full. It is full of pre-cuts. I need to start using it because it's just sitting there. So that will be the goal for this year and next year. After I sign up for all of these Black of the Month programs. Those don't count, right? Those don't count. That's not fabric. All right, so all 4 rows are now sewn up. So now we just sew the rows up again. Let's go ahead and do that. Laura wants to know, do you pre-wash your 108-inch backing? It's a good question. Um, the fabric that I used for this table was 108 inch, and I did pre-wash that, but that's because I wanted to stretch it onto this table and I didn't want it to shrink when I was ironing on it. Um, Me personally, I don't use 108-inch fabric for my backings normally. Um, but if it was up to me, I probably wouldn't because I wash my entire quilt after it's done. So then that way everything kind of shrinks together. But that's just me. Sandra K says she does not pre-wash anything. Dawn says, yes, I wash my 108-inch backing. So I think it's a personal preference. Laura, you and me both on. You and me will sign up together, okay? We'll be each other's buddies. What is that, sponsors? We'll be each other's sponsors. Yeah, because I have plastic bins that I use for storage because I really don't have, you guys can see I don't have a lot of storage in here, so I use plastic bins for things. And I have way more fabric than I thought I did. In fact, I'm pretty sure I still have a plastic bin of fabric in the garage that I really need to get out. Yeah, I agree with you. I think you and I should be each other's sponsors. Oh, that's interesting, Laura. I never knew that. If it's going to a long arm, would they care? I don't know. Yes, Susan, it has flown by. Well, time flies when you're having fun. Time flies when you're having fun. Thought Mr. Whistler was coming in. I heard him coming down the hallway. Alright. My hair is like all over the place today. I have a clip, and I'll probably clip it up in a minute. Hi, Agnes! Welcome back to the channel. Susan says I don't pre-wash, use coin-up washers and dryers. Yeah, that makes sense. Laura, none of the dozen plus that I have used 108 with have shrunk. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know why it would shrink more than regular fabric. I mean, it's all the same. It's just how it's cut. I mean, it's all on the same, I don't want to say bolt, but it's all on the same process. It's just how they cut it when they're making it. So I wouldn't see why it would shrink any more or less than any of the others. I did not press the seams. I probably should have before I started sewing these up, but it's alright. Let's just be careful with it. Where are you? There are some matching seams. It appears. All of my seams were pressed open, except for these rows. So that should help things. Flannel. Yeah, I have to agree with you, Sandra. I have pre-washed flannel before because I've heard it pills. Is that the right term? It pills. It gets all. I just didn't want all that gunk all over my machine. So I have pre-washed the flannel fabric before. And actually, my long arm is the one that recommended I do that because I had reached out to her and said, "Hey, is it okay if I use a flannel for backing?" And she said, "That's fine." But she did. She said you don't have to, but she recommended I pre-wash it. So I did. I'll do whatever that woman tells me to do. I will do whatever she tells me to do. She's the expert, not me. I respect her expertise significantly. So she she takes my quilt tops and makes them look beautiful. So John says because the warp and weft is stretched just like 42-inch fabric, the backing may warp because it was stretched during manufacturing. My 42-inch wide fabrics are a piece for backing I do not wash. Oh, there you go. Bye, Susan. Have a great day. Thanks so much for hanging out with us today. Have an awesome rest of your day. Make sure you post pictures of your finished projects on Facebook. We would love to see them. I know I would. I'm sure everybody else would too, but I know I would love to see them. And don't forget our members only stream tomorrow, 7:30 p.m. Central Time. Hopefully, I'll see you there. There's definitely some matching of seams going on here. This weird music. Yeah, I don't normally use the 108-inch fabric if I'm being honest. It's not my go-to. I have used it before when it was the fabric that I liked and that's what it came in. But I don't purposely go looking for it. When I was making this table, I did go for it. I did look for it on purpose because I wanted to make sure that I didn't have a seam running down the middle of the table. But otherwise, I don't normally look for the 108-inch fabric. It's not my go-to. All right, here we go. These rows are finally sewn up together. All right. Go ahead and just open these up. Give them a quick finger press. There you go, Laura. Sometimes trial and error is the best way to figure out if it works or not. Um, Personally, I think it depends on the fabric, honestly. I mean that, and again, I am not the expert, as is the name of my channel. I am not the expert. It's the ones in chat that are. But I'm thinking it depends on the fabric. Like if it's a pretty stretchy fabric, might not be a bad idea to pre-wash it. If it's just your standard high quality quilting cotton, maybe even the same fabric line as the top of your quilts, then it's probably okay. If it's a flannel or a fleece, something with a high pill on it, then it might be okay. Then you might want to wash it. I think it all comes down to personal preference. Sylvia says I need to start labeling my quilts. Sylvia, I was watching a thing on Netflix. Maybe it was Prime. I don't remember, about Amish quilting. And they mentioned that maybe this is interesting to you guys. Maybe you already knew this. I don't know. But they mentioned that in the Amish culture, I guess that's what it's called. In the Amish culture, they do not label their quilts because it's considered a sense of pride or something to do with that, and that's frowned upon in the Irish culture. The Irish culture is all about selfless nature, not selfish nature. So they don't label their quilts at all and they're all made together as a group. They're all made on quilting frames together. Everything is made together in this one big group. Nothing is made by just one person. And I kind of thought about that for a minute. And I was like, because I don't label my quilts. I don't. People have told me before that I should. They're like, oh, well, then they're not worth anything. Then how are people going to know who made them? You know, when they get passed down to your great great grandchildren, how are they going to know that it was you that did it? That's not important to me. It's I can understand labeling them for yourself so that you know what type of a pattern it was or when you made it or things like that if it's something you're going to keep. I can understand that. But most of my quilts I give away. So I don't really most of my quilts I give away, so I don't keep them for myself. And so I don't label them because it's not about I'm not looking for justification or credit, probably a good word, for doing it. I do it because I love it. I do it because I love it, and I love the fact that I can give them to someone else, and maybe they will love it, maybe they won't. Is it upsetting when they don't love it? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it always is. It's always upsetting. But at the same time, once I've gifted it to them, it's theirs. They can do with it what they want. It's theirs, you know, and I put my love into it because I love the hobby and I love the journey. The finished product is to me isn't as important as the journey, if that makes any sense. And so labeling them, yes, yes, I could absolutely put labels for mine. And I don't really feel like they need them, you know? And so when I was watching this show about the Amish quilting and how they don't put labels on them on purpose, I thought, well, I don't do it on purpose. But I wonder if that's kind of why I do it, is because I don't want the credit for making them. I don't want, you know, and they're mine are all machine made. They're not handmade. So to me, in my opinion, they have less value. That's not to say they have no value, but a handmade quilt is going to have a whole lot more value than one that's not handmade, in my opinion. Um, you know, so maybe that's why you maybe not. And please don't take this the wrong way. Please don't take this as me judging you or anything if you put labels on your quilts. You put labels on your quilts, fantastic. I think that's great. I think it's amazing. I think it's wonderful. It's just not my thing. And that's the beauty of this hobby is everybody is entitled to their own way of doing things. You know, there are certain guidelines that you should follow to make your life a little bit easier, but you don't have to. Do it your own way. Do it your own way. Do what you want. Sylvia, I like the idea of putting quotes on them as opposed to names. That's kind of neat. I like that. That's a neat way of doing it. Maybe just the date and the year that it was made would work as well. I probably should do that. Um, I don't, but I probably should. But I don't want my name on it. That's the whole point of this is I don't want my name on it. I could probably put a label with the date. Yeah, like you said, yeah, the date, the quote. You know, a nice quote that kind of represents the quotes would be really nice. Would be a nice touch, I think, as well. But I definitely don't want my name. But that's just me. That's just me and how I feel about it. But the show was really interesting. It was a half an hour, 45-minute show. I want to say it was on Prime. Um, and it was just one of those things where I came across it when I was flipping through trying to find something to watch. But it was about the Amish and how and why they create their quilts. I just thought it was really interesting. Um, but the label thing, it just really resonated with me. It's like, that makes sense to me. Let's see. Quilt of Valors, yeah, Sandra, I can completely understand that. Yeah, like I can understand labeling it like a Quilt of Valor. I can understand labeling it with the person's name who you're giving it to and the date. I can see that. That makes sense to me. Or other things as well. I can get that. I mean, again, I'm not judging anyone who labels their quilts. If you label your quilts, I think it's fantastic. I think it's great. I think it's amazing. It's just not me. And like Sylvia said, that's the amazing part of this community is we accept everybody for who they are and for their own, quirks. And everyone is entitled to their own opinions. And there's no right or wrong right answer here. It's all about what your preference is. Now, obviously, we can share our preferences with each other. We can say, this is what I prefer to do. This is what I do. But you don't have to go with those things. That's the beauty of this community is you do what works best for you and what your preference is. Now, of course, obviously, like I said, we can help guide you. We can tell you what works for us. But that doesn't mean it's a right or wrong answer. It's just what works for us. I label the date you finished. Yeah, that's a good idea too. Very tiny. And standards, there's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. She said she uses a permanent ink and she puts her initials and the date she finished it in the bottom corner if she remembers. Nothing wrong with that. And again, I want to make it very clear. I am not judging anyone who does. Anyone who does, label their quotes, I think it's fantastic. I think it's amazing. There are some amazing labels that you could pre-purchase or you can make your own. I think it's amazing. I've seen some beautiful ones. People have used like their embroidery machine to make labels like on a piece of silk, and I think it's amazing. It's just not for me. Now I understand that if I were to enter my quilts into a quilt show, that they have to be labeled. And again, I understand that part too, because you're entering it into a show. You're not necessarily giving it away for somebody to put on their couch. This is a showpiece, and so you want it labeled with, the name of the pattern, the date, who made it. Totally get it. Understandable. It makes sense that that's part of the situation. John says, if you will be quilting your quilt, it does not matter about pre-washing the 108-inch backing. If you have a long armor to quilt it, and someone else will be doing it, ask the long armor. That's excellent advice, John. That is excellent advice. Terry, I agree. I understand. Yeah, no, I totally get that, and I do understand that part of it too. Like I've been to thrift stores and I've seen handmade quilts and they don't have tags on them, and you kind of always wonder like what's the story behind it? Like what whose is it? When was it made? You can tell that it's hand stitched, but like when? How long ago? So I get that. I do. I understand the purpose of it. And people, my family from 100 years from now, if they do have a quilt that gets handed down from generations, I'm sure they will be mad at me that I didn't label them. But for right now, I don't want them labeled. Yeah, maybe if I was doing a baby quilt, and maybe if and when I do a baby quilt, I might label it then. So that child can keep it with them, and that they will have it for themselves. That kind of thing I would probably do. But I don't look at any of the quilts that I've made so far. I just don't look at them as family heirlooms. Like I probably should. I probably should be looking at them as family heirlooms, but I don't. I don't, and I should. Ah, yeah. That is exactly right, Terry. 100%. You do you. It is our therapy. It is your therapy, nobody else's. 100%. 100%. And I think labels are amazing. They're absolutely beautiful. Some of them are just incredible. Like I've seen some really, really pretty ones. And I've thought about it before. Like I've looked into like buying some pre-purchase labels. Um, I even have a couple of companies lined up that I was going to buy them from, and I just haven't done it yet. I might change my mind about that, later on. Who knows? Especially the more I make. I'm no. This is the other part of it, guys. Remember, I'm also really fairly new to this hobby. I've only been doing it for 5 or 6 years now. Okay, 7 or 8. 7 or 8. I consider that still pretty new to the hobby. So, 10, 15, 20 years from now, when I'm still making them, I might be labeling them by then. Right now, right now, it's a matter of I don't want my name on it because there's too many mistakes on it. I don't want people to know that I made it. I think that's kind of what it is right now. Now, I will say this: the clip that we are making for the mystery project, what we are making, I will probably label that one. Um, if it turns out the way that I'm hoping that it does, I will probably label that one. Because that one's going to be kind of specific. That one it's intended as a wall hanging. It's going to be specific. Um, so I will probably label that one. But I don't think I'm going to label any of the other ones. At least not right now. Terry? You're talking about the uh, the mystery one? You talking about that one? Yeah, that one. That one I will. I am 99% sure I will label that one, and I'm probably going to look into seeing if I can't get a hand stitched label made. I don't have an embroidery machine to make a hand stitched label, but I know enough people and I have enough friends that I'm sure I could get one made. I just don't know what I want it to say yet or that kind of stuff just yet. So, but I will likely put a label on that one. It will probably go on the back, attached to the backing fabric. Terry, I have, yeah. Look on Etsy, yeah, I have. I actually have befriended a couple people on Facebook who own label making companies. Um, there's a young woman, Jules something, that I have befriended on Facebook who makes her own labels in bulk. I've not bought any of them from her, so I don't know what the quality is. I mean, I've seen them, seen pictures of them, but I haven't touched them or anything. Um, but I have befriended a couple of people. All right, folks, we are at the almost at the end here. We have to just put these two pieces together, and then we are good to go. I just want to make sure I have it oriented correctly. Yep, this is it. So flip this over like this. All right, last two halves go together. My arms are getting sore from But yeah, Etsy would be a great place to do that too. There are a lot of amazingly creative people on Etsy. Amazingly creative people. But I thought that was interesting about the Amish and why they don't label their cults. It's vanity. That's what it was called. It's considered a form of vanity, and so that's a sin in the Amish culture. Selfies are not a thing. In the Amish culture. It was a really interesting show. It wasn't very long. If I remember, I will try to post a link to it on our Facebook group if I remember. Terry, how's your neighbor doing? Did she come home? I know you said she had gotten a date that she was going to be coming home soon. Terry said, "Oh, nice. Someone made my sister a rag quilt. It was a young girl, and she labeled it beautifully. My sister passed before she got to use it. I have it. Oh, that's beautiful. I think you mentioned that once before. Yeah, that she told you that because the label on the quilt matters in my heart. Yeah, Terry, I can understand that 100%. And things like that where you're making it for a purpose. I can understand the I can I can understand labeling those. Making it for a purpose, making it for a specific person or specific reason. I have not made any of my quilts. I've made my quilts for people. Don't get me wrong. I made them with specific people in mind, um, but not necessarily for specific reasons. Like I said, a baby quilt. Yeah, I would probably label a baby quilt. Quilt of Valor, I would probably label that. In fact, I have one that I'm trying to finish up here in the next couple weeks. I will probably figure out how to label that one. Um, Sandra, if you're still here, what do you use? What do you usually put on your label? Your Quilt of Valor labels? Do you put your name on them? Do you put like like thank you for your service or anything like that? Like what do you put? Do you put the recipient's name on them? If you know their name, um, what do you normally use for the label? Behind my head through the wall. Yeah, I hope she's careful too, Sandra. I hope so too. You said she has family that's kind of been stepping in to help, though, right? Didn't you say that? I feel like I remember you mentioning that, which I'm sure is a tremendous help to you. I mean, you were an amazing friend and neighbor, helping her out while she needed it. I'm not sure that I like any of my neighbors that well to look like that. I'm not sure that I would like any of my neighbors well enough to do that. Um, and I'm not sure that they like me. I'm pretty sure the feeling's fairly mutual. Um, but you said you've been there a long time though, too. That's part of it as well. I feel like if my neighbor that used to live next door to me needed help, I would have helped her. My new neighbors, I don't think so. I don't think so. Great nephew, busy man. Oh, gotcha. Oh, family is not much help. Gotcha. I'm sorry to hear that. That's the worst of it though. Is when you don't really have family to help you out. That that really makes me sad. And that's then that I can kind of understand why you're trying to help. And if I had a neighbor that I was close enough to that was in that type of a situation, I would probably also help. Um, like in that case, I'd like to think that I would. I can't say that I would for sure, but I'd like to think that I'm a nice enough person that I would do that. I tried to help the neighbor across the street a little bit when she was not doing so well. She ended up moving away, but I did try to help her when I could. Hire somebody to clean. Wow, Sandra, that's awesome. Did you have that made on like a embroidery machine? He was a gunner, had a silhouette of gunner at a cross with his name, rank, and U.S. Army, then years of service. Well, Carrie says on her way home. Well, Carrie, be careful. Don't be driving. Don't be driving and texting. I hope somebody else is driving for you. But I'm glad you're home, or at least on your way home. Had a friend make it. Okay, gotcha. So the quilt that I'm doing, I don't have a whole lot of information on this particular veteran. He's a fairly younger gentleman, um, a friend of mine, so I don't have a whole lot of that information. I mean, I could probably get it. I could probably ask for it. Um, I'm just trying to figure out what to put on the label. Because I think I will label that one. Just because that one has a purpose. That one is intended for a specific reason and a specific person, and I feel like that one to me warrants a label. Does that make sense? Like, am I making any sense? Uh, um, Maybe I'm just making up stuff because I'm being lazy. I don't know. Could be both. Could be. This is our last scene, and it is being trouble. If I'm being honest, I think I need to bring my machine in for cleaning again. It's starting to make a weird noise. I thought it was the needle rubbing, and it turns out it's definitely not the needle rubbing because it's making the noise when the needle goes up. That's that's not a needle rub. I think it's actually at the top of the machine. I think it just needs to be oiled, honestly. So I might take it apart and just give it a little bit of a spritz of oil and see if that helps it. We'll see. But it's not making the noise all the time, and I'm not ready to let it go just yet. I have a vacation coming up in July, so I'll probably drop it off before I leave on vacation. Have them do it then, or at least try to have them do it during that time. I have a backup machine if I need to. You guys have seen it before. My other brother. From me to you. There you go, Terry. There you go. There you go. Yeah, there you go. Made with love. Wow, it's registered with the Quilt of Valor organization. I didn't even know you had to do like that. You should do that. Like, I really need to look at it. Like, I was just gonna give it to him. Like, I didn't. Is there? What does the registration like? What is the purpose of that? Like, does it serve a purpose, or is it just something fancy? Or I didn't even know there was a registration involved. I should probably look into that. Like, I just thought you gave it to him. No, there was. I guess I should do a little more research. All right, here we go. That's it, folks. Last scene. Plus, of course, I decided to put a border on it, which I have not decided one way or the other. Let me press this seam open real quick, and then I'll hold it up for you guys to see. We can just chat. We've got about half an hour left, so that's not a lot of time. There's so many threads. That's cool. Maybe that's what I'll do. Is I'll just sit here and snip threads. Oh my God, there's so many of them. Nice feeling with that thing. Yes, that it's finally done. Yeah. Now this one, it was a lot of work. Don't get me wrong, it was a lot of work. But it wasn't as frustrating as the Tropics one. When we finished the last theme on that Tropics, that one was like a sigh of relief. And then when I got it back in the long arm and I had to put the binding on it, I felt like I kind of felt a little bit like that project was cursed. It was just there was like a curse to it. So when I had to put the binding on that one, it sat for months before I put the binding on it because I was like, nope, because I'm gonna screw something up. Something's gonna get screwed up, and something's gonna go wrong, and I just cursed from the start. That one was a cursed project. All right. Let me show you what I got. On their site, there is all information needed to help them keep track so the veteran doesn't get two or more with so many veterans reserving a quilt. Oh, gotcha. Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. Okay, let me show you what I got. There we go. All right, so this is. I guess I can try to stand up to show it to you, but if I stand up, then the camera doesn't reach all the way. So here, just try to. Ta-da! And then roll it up a little bit so you guys can see the bottom rows. Ta-da! Oh look, I got two of the same fabrics over here. I didn't even notice. That's alright. There we go. Resilient is complete. I don't know, I feel like it probably could use a couple of borders to make it a little bit bigger. It's a decent sized throw. Um, it might benefit from a couple of borders. I'm not sure. I've got a little bit of a trip coming up soon where we're going to be visiting some quilt stores. So I'm planning to bring this one with me um, to kind of look at because I need to buy a backing fabric for it anyway. So while I'm there, I might look at maybe a border fabric as well. We'll see. Thank you. Terry, I don't lean towards pinks either, but I'll tell you, these are more of like a pinkish purple. I know they look more pink on the camera, but they are more of a pinkish purple for sure. Um, it's a lot more purples and greens than there is a couple of pinks. Don't get me wrong. Oh my god, did you guys see my legs? Oh, can you see my legs? Like they're just completely covered in threads. Just completely covered. But uh, this one has been really thready. Yeah, I will say that. This project has been really, really, oh my god, just covered in. Oh my goodness. Uh, so funny. Um, it's much more purples than pinks. I will say that. I've always loved this. This is Anne of Green Gables. This is because I guess there's a second version of Anne of Green Gables out there now, but this is the original Anne of Green Gables. Really pretty fabrics. I have no idea what I'm gonna do. I have no vision for a backing thread. Like I don't even know what I'm gonna do yet for a backing thread. Backing, binding, I don't know. I have no clue. No clue. Um, I want something that's going to showcase the fabrics, but not something that's going to take away from it, you know? I have a shirt like that, Carrie. My gray, you guys have seen it. It's a dark gray shirt. It's got these open sleeves on it. Same thing. Same thing. The threads stick to it like crazy, and they will not even come off in the wash machine. It makes me crazy. I've tried like throwing it in the dryer before I wash it just to get the threads off. It won't come off. I have one of those. Yeah. Well, excuse me. We've got about 20 minutes left of our stream, and I don't really see I don't really think I'm going to pull out the other project right now. I'll work on that off camera. It's been an off camera project from the start anyway. Um, it's another project that I'm going to be bringing with me on my trip this summer, because I'm going to need a backing fabric for that one as well. And I might need a border for that one too. I don't know yet. We'll have to wait. Teresa says, I'm late, but I'm here. No problem, Teresa. We're just hanging out. I literally just showed everybody our finished Resilient project. It's amazing. So you'll have to make sure you check the replay. I asked earlier if that was Anne. I love it. I'm having FOMO. Some of the fabrics are still available, Terry. I've seen the fat quarter bundle available still, so you may want to check it out. Fried threads and baby D cyber. Oh, I don't know. Just, yeah, Sandra. Obviously I don't have any little baby diapers anymore. At least not right now, anyway. But not for a while. Hopefully, not for a while. But I can understand that. I find them on the dog. That's where I find them. I find them on the dog. I find them on my coats, my winter coats. It's weird. So it is what it is. It's fine. Um, la, 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 la. Terry asked about Lucas. Terry, you missed it. You were a little late coming in. I was letting everybody know. Lucas is not here this week. He may not be here next weekend either. Him and his bride-to-be, my daughter, and Taylor, my other daughter, and Taylor's boyfriend, Brendan, are on a cruise. The graduation gift from their great aunt on their dad's side was a trip for the four of them to go on a week-long cruise. It's a family thing. It's a family vacation. The whole family went, not their dad, but everybody else went. And but the aunt paid for the four of them. So everybody else had to pay for themselves, whereas the great aunt paid for them. So they flew down to Florida yesterday. No, Friday. They flew down to Orlando on Friday. Stayed the night in a hotel on Friday. Boarded the boat yesterday. I heard from them at around 2 or 3 o'clock that they were getting ready to leave port. And that was the last I heard from them. They did get the Wi-Fi package in their room, but it's only 2.5 hours for the entire week. So I told them leave it for emergencies, and I would talk to them later. I do know from my own experience, sometimes you can get cell coverage when you're on some of the islands, and it's not roaming. So maybe I'll hear from them sometime during the week. But so they are on a boat. They are in the Caribbean right now. I think they're just kind of out in the middle of the ocean right now. Yes, I've been on 2 cruises. I thought they were really nice. I really enjoyed them. I liked the fact that you weren't really in the same place the whole time. Some people don't like them because you're not in the same place for a very long amount of time. And some people like them because you get a nice wide variety. I've been on 2 of them. The first one was fantastic. Everything went perfect. The second one, we had hit some rough seas. It wasn't really rough. Like I've heard nightmares from some people, like walking around with their life vests on the whole time. Like it was nothing like that. But it was a little choppy, and we actually had to divert. We actually couldn't stop at one of the islands that we were supposed to stop at because there was a storm coming in. They actually had to divert us around the storm. So the water was a little rough. It was a little bit rough, and it wasn't bad though. Like I did get motion sickness for sure, but it wasn't terrible. Like I've heard some really nasty stories, and the good news is the time of the year that they've chose to go is a pretty decent time of the year. We've been checking the weather down there. There's really nothing going on down there right now, so the water should be pretty calm for them. But I have heard some pretty horror stories about things. So really, Sylvia, that's amazing. You worked on a cruise ship. That would be so cool. Terry, I agree with you, and I'm really hoping that because they can't be on Wi-Fi, that they do kind of what do they call unplug for a little while. I really hope so, and that's kind of one of the things that I've been encouraging them. Don't spend all your time in your room. Get out, do something. Just walk around the boat. Like it's a city on the water. Like there's plenty of things for you to do. Like There's the pool, there's a jacuzzi, there's like 5,000 different bars you can hang out in it. There's shows you can see, there's water slides, there's mini golf. I mean, there's always something there to do. So get out of your room and do something. So I'm really hoping that they do that. Obviously, it's their trip, so they're going to do what they want. But I'm hoping that they get out. Sylvie says, so I never entered my front door. He says, I will sail in if I go on. I get that. I get that. Yeah. I did enjoy my cruises. The couple of them that I went on, I did enjoy them. Mr. Wizard and I were talking about it yesterday or this morning, and I said, I didn't realize that it was an option before, but I've read that some people actually live on a cruise boat. Like, they don't work on it, they just live on it. And I was thinking about it, I'm like, I wonder what that would cost. Like, if you sold your house, you sold your car, like you sold everything you own, all your furniture and everything, and you just lived on a boat. Like, you wouldn't have to pay for groceries. I mean, unless you wanted some incidentals, but you really wouldn't have to pay for any groceries with regards to food-wise, because there's just always food on the boat. And you wouldn't have to pay for a mortgage. You wouldn't have to pay for, car or car insurance, or homeowners insurance, or any of those things. You wouldn't have to pay for any of those things. There's a doctor on the boat. There's always a doctor on the boat. It's like, I wonder if that would be less expensive. I told Mr. Wizard, I said, I wonder if we should consider that instead of an RV when we retire. I mean, it was just a thought. But it was just like, I wonder what that would be like. I mean, because I was watching somewhere, and I think it was on YouTube, where some couple signed up for a 365-day cruise. So they were going to live on the cruise boat for a year. And I thought, I wonder where they go. Like, did they stay, like, in the Caribbean? They just keep hitting um, the same islands every time? Because I don't think they do. Because I feel like the boats keep moving around. Like, they keep going to different places. Like, when you get on a boat, it's not like that boat only does one circuit. Like, I think it does a bunch of circuits. So I feel like that could be a lot of fun. They say it's cheaper than living in a 55 and older community. Some people do it for financial reasons. Yeah, Terry, that's kind of what I was thinking. I'm like, I wonder if that would be less expensive. Because you wouldn't have any mortgage, you wouldn't have any car payments. I mean, it was like, I wonder. I'm kind of curious. I'd be curious to work out the numbers. Yes, Sandra. Yeah, Sandra, I can understand this. She said, "How would I get to see my great grandkids?" So family. That's true. You could fly out at any point in time, just like anything else. I mean, you wouldn't necessarily, and you just pick up the boat in another place, like Terry says. You just pick it up at another time or another place. Once it comes, like you could take a week off the boat and go visit, fly off, and then come back to port when it. I can't imagine that everybody on the boat is there for a year. Like I can't imagine you're stuck with the same people. Like I imagine it's like a constant rotation of people. Um, but I'd be curious to know. Like, I mean, I know that people, when they retire, that's what they do. They just go on cruises. But it's like, huh? I wonder what if it is financially more stable to do that. The weird things that you think about, like, why am I even thinking about this? I still got 20 years before I retire. Yeah. So, but it's they just. Laura says, I don't think I could live on a boat, but I'd love to go for a couple weeks. Yeah, I know, Laura. Like, I'm like, couple weeks, a month, maybe a couple months even would be nice. I don't know that I could do it for a full year, but 3 months I could probably do. Especially if it goes to different places. Like if it goes to the same place the whole time, like no, forget it, never mind. But if it keeps going to other places, like especially because at some point all the cruise ships end up going up to Alaska when the weather gets cold, they go up there. So at some point you'd go all the way up there too. Like that could be really cool. Like if you just keep going all these different places. Like that would be really neat. I would be okay with that. And all these ports that you go to, like you're only there for 12, 18 hours usually. So unless you've gone on multiple boats or you've gone on multiple trips, you can't do it all in one day. So you could do different things like every time you go, and you don't have to go on any of the excursions either. Like you can just stay on the boat if you want, or just get off the boat and walk around the town or do whatever. Like if you needed to go grocery shopping or whatever, you could do those things too. I was just like, I think I'm thinking about this one too much because I'm like, huh, I bet, I bet we could do that. So that's a food for thought. It was just kind of like, a quilting cruise. Sylvia, that could be fun. I know that there's a bunch of them out there, and they're kind of pricey. I mean, I was actually looking into the one for that Becca and them were going on, and I looked into it just for a minute, and they're really pricey. And here's the thing, okay? Quilting retreats are really cool. They're really fun, and I probably will join a larger one at some point in time. I have yet to join the larger one, but I probably will at some point in time. Maybe like I know So yeah, it's not doing them anymore, but like Missouri Star Quilt Company or something like that. I might join one of those really big ones at some point in time. But here's the thing about it, a quilting cruise that I have a hard time with. If I'm gonna go on a cruise, okay, and I'm gonna spend a week on a boat, I don't want to sit in one room and just quilt all day. Don't get me wrong, I love quilting, but I don't want to sit in a room and quilt all day. Like I want to be out on the boat. I want to be on the decks, and I want to be walking around, and I want to be enjoying all the different things. I don't want to be in some conference room quilting all day if I want to be on a cruise. Unless, of course, it's like cold weather or something like that. That's different. But like even still, like if I'm going to go on a boat, I want to be on a cruise. Like I want to be, I want to be on vacation mode, not that quilting is work, but that kind of thing. Like that's the one I kind of have a hard time with these quilting cruises. Like they sound fun in theory, but if I'm going to spend that much money on a vacation, I don't want to spend the whole time inside quilting. Like even if it was like on an outside deck, if you were like out on one of the upper decks doing it, that would be kind of cool. But here's the thing: is I've been on these cruises, and when you're out in the middle of the ocean, it gets really windy on those decks. When you're out in the middle of the ocean, it gets really windy, and it can get a little chilly too. So like, as beautiful as it sounds, I don't think the reality is as much fun, or in my opinion, worth the price. I'm just saying. If I'm going on a quilting retreat, like to a building or a location like Vegas, if I'm going to Vegas for a quilting retreat, that's different, because to me that's just different. Like I can enjoy the nightlife. And don't get me wrong, you can enjoy the nightlife on a cruise too. But the whole point of a cruise is to be in the beautiful weather, right? It's to enjoy the outdoors and be in the beautiful weather. And I wouldn't want to be indoors. So that's just my own opinion. Historical cruises, lots of topics. Sylvia, I would love to go on one of those, like one of those like European ones. I would love to go on one of those. I just missed a bunch of stuff as I was rambling. Hold on. Yeah, exactly, Terry. I don't want to go on a cruise and do what I can at home. Yeah. And I don't have to pack to stay at home and sew. Right. For sure. Sandra says, funny. Google says cheaper to put mom on a cruise than a nursing home. That's awesome. Becca and crew will be passing by my home. Oh, that's awesome. Resident? Okay. Sylvia says, I live in Alaska. Why pay to come here? That's fair. That's fair. See, not all of us live there, though. Some of us want to see it from a different perspective. I've heard the Alaskan cruises are pretty cool, though. I've heard there because you can get really up close to the icebergs and stuff, which I'm sure for you don't care, but I think that would be kind of fun. But costly. It is a good thing to ponder, yeah. Google says 140K for two. Is that for the year, Sandra? Oh, I see. No, Harry says if you ask AI, I'm sure they'll give you the numbers. Yes. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Well, and I mean, makes you, like you said, makes you wonder though how much it would be to live in a retirement community or in a nursing facility. I mean, obviously there's a health thing there. Like if a person is in a nursing home because they need to be for health reasons, they don't belong on a boat. Like, but if you're just living in a retirement community, it's like I said, it's like I was telling Mr. Wizard. You don't have a mortgage or taxes or insurance. You don't have a car payment because you don't need one. Where are you gonna go? You know what I mean? You don't need a car payment, so you don't have car insurance. You don't have grocery bills, really. I mean, obviously you can have snacks or stuff in your room, but for the most part, you're not making any of your meals. All of your meals are made for you. And yes, don't get me wrong, you can totally gorge out on these cruises, but you can also do them healthy wise too. Like you can make healthy choices. Um, you can do that. And if you don't go on any of the excursions or any of those things, like even if you just get off the boat to walk around the town and come back, they have free charters and stuff that will take you back and forth from port and into the town and things. So those won't be a real expense for you, like with a car. I mean, if you wanted to do the excursions or whatever, that's fine, but you really don't have to. My cousin is in one, $5,800 a month. Oh, she's on a cruise. Oh, nursing homes. Gotcha. $6,000 a month. My gosh. $5,800 a month. So 6 times 12, that's what, 144,000, right? Did I do that wrong? Or is that 12 times? I can't do the math today. Math hurts my brain. Let's see. Calculator. 6 times 12. Let's go over there. 72. So 72,000. That's saying 72,000 a year. And I imagine there's got to be some type of discounted rate for these cruises if you go for the year, because like they have a guaranteed room now. Like I mean, not that they ever have empty rooms, but I wonder if they do have empty rooms like hotels. But either way, you keep making me go off topics here. But I wonder if there is like a lower rate for that. It's extra for she eats in her room. Yeah, 5,800 a month. My gosh, just it's so crazy that it is so expensive. I get why it can be more expensive, especially if you're in a home or you're in a situation where you need around the clock care. I can understand why that could be expensive. But what I don't get is why it is so expensive to care for our elderly. Like it floors me how expensive it is to care for our elderly. Like you cannot tell me that it really costs that particular company or that particular facility that much money. Like I understand they need some extra money so that they can maintain the equipment and build and things like that. But Brat46 says, it is why I am retiring. Hubby has dementia and is beginning to need 24/7 care. Oh, Brat46, I'm so sorry to hear that. I know how difficult that can be. Sherlock Cheryl's mom had dementia. Then she ended up having to be placed she had Alzheimer's. And she ended up in an Alzheimer's facility because Cheryl just couldn't care for her anymore. Room service. Oh my gosh. Sylvie says, I'm in travel status going to Mexico. There you go, Sylvia. There you go. For sure. I needed to travel more. When the kids were little, I traveled a little bit when the kids were really little, and then when they kind of got to school age, I stopped traveling because they really needed to be here. They needed a stable environment. And now that the kids are off on their own, now I'm like, I would really like to travel again. But at the same time, I'm not really fit to travel anymore. But a cruise sounds like it could be fun. That's definitely a thought process. But at the same time, we've got our puppies, so we've got to think about them. who would watch them while we were gone and things like that. I know Tay's home right now, but who knows how long she'll stay home and things like that. Yeah, Sandra, we're taking off too. Yeah, thanks so much for hanging out with us. I hope you have a great rest of your week. Um, Marie. Excuse me. Um, Marie, I got your email. I was just reading it now. I will respond to that. I appreciate that feedback too. Um, what was I gonna say? Oh, right. Sorry, I got distracted. Uh, but anyway, friends, thanks so much for hanging out with me today. I really appreciated you guys hanging out with me. So excited that we finished this. I'm tempted to put some borders on it, just because I feel like it's a really busy quilt. Not busy in the design sense, but busy in the fabric sense. There's a lot of fabric, so I feel like a border would really kind of calm your eyes down when you see it. So I think I am going to put a border on it. I have no idea which direction I'm going to go with it yet. I've got a trip coming up here in July where we're going to be hitting some quilt stores, so I'm planning to bring this one with me to kind of figure out what I want to do with it and go from there. There's no hurry. This one's not intended for anyone specific, so I don't have a time frame of when I need to finish it. If I don't find anything on my trip, I might bring it over to my local store and have hang out there too. No problem, Terry. Yeah, we're hanging out too. Yeah, we're getting ready to take off here too. No problem. Um, Reminder to all of our members, we do have another live stream tomorrow, 7:30 p.m. Central. So make sure you hang out there. I don't think I have anything else. Let me check my calendar. I can't. I print my calendar up, but I can't read it from over here. So let me just double check and make sure that I'm not missing something. I think it's next week. What month are we in? June? Next Friday is Father's Day. For those of you who celebrate, make sure you remember that. We are working on our Norfolk quote on next. Okay, so we have a live stream on Monday for members only, and then we're supposed to have one on Wednesday, which is a Whip Wednesday. So we're just going to be working on some miscellaneous stuff on Wednesday. And then I have a Zoom call on the 14th. Oh yeah, I'm so sorry. Excuse me. So live streams on Monday for our members, another live stream here on the channel for Wednesday for Work in Progress Wednesday. And then Sunday we'll be working on Norfolk Block 4. I've got Block 5 sitting right here. You guys can see it just off the camera. I've got it sitting there, so I'll be cutting that fabric up maybe today, maybe another day. I don't know, we'll see. Puppies Quilt on the 22nd, and then we also have our mental health episode with over on Katie's channel in the afternoon that day. And then another members only on the 23rd. I'm supposed to be doing a block party video on the 26th. We had to skip last month because things just got way too crazy. So I'm hoping we can get to another one this month. I've got it set on my calendar for the 26th. We'll see if that works out. After Dark is on the 28th of this month. And then I've got the Memory Bear Quilt on the 29th. And that's it for now. I do not have my schedule written out for July yet. I have to write it out. But that's our schedule for this month, guys. I do have previews set up already on the channel for most of the stuff that's happening in June. Not all of it, but most of it that's happening in June. I already have previews set up for that. I also set up events on our Facebook page. If you guys are not a member of our Facebook page, I strongly encourage you to go over there if you can. And sign up for that. That's kind of my avenue that I go to when I need to share things with you guys, whether it be I have to cancel a stream or move something or remind you guys of something. That's usually where I go. I try to remember to put it in our community page here on YouTube, but I have found that not everybody gets the notifications for that page, so it can be challenging sometimes. I don't do Instagram very well. I wish I did do it better than I do. but I just don't. So if you guys are looking for day-to-day updates on the channel, make sure you go over to the Facebook group. There's a link in the description of every single one of my videos for Facebook. You can also do exclamation point FB in chat. It'll give you a link to our Facebook, or you can do exclamation point links. That's LINKS, and that will give you both Facebook and Instagram. But otherwise, I think that's it. I don't know. My brain is fried today, guys. I have no idea what happened. Like, my brain just completely turned to mush. But anyway, guys, I hope you have the great rest of your weekend. Try and see if you can get outside and enjoy the beautiful weather if you're not like me and you're having breathing issues. And you're able to, if you can, get outside and enjoy it while you can. I know that we're supposed to get some thunderstorms later today, so we'll see how that goes. But anyway. Otherwise, I will see members tomorrow. Hopefully, I will see everybody else on Wednesday evening, 7:30 p.m. Central Time. If nothing else, I will see you guys all again next Sunday. All right, friends. Thanks again so much for hanging out with me today. And I will see you again really soon. Bye for now.
You better watch out now, get 10 said he love it.